It's a run, a diverse world. Wow. I just recorded the first like 3 minutes of this video with my microphone muted, so here we are again. This run was completed on yesterday, November the 17th, in a time of 10 minutes and 4 seconds. Very close to a sub 10, but not quite. Keep in mind that when I'm playing, I don't have a timer up or anything, mainly to reduce like nerves and pressure. If I had known my time, I might have made a guess, like my guess on the last round earlier, but as you'll see, the guess that I did make was risky anyways. Not much else to say. Just gonna give it a few seconds and we'll get into it. So I'm placed by a lake here, and when I look to the north, there's a town in the distance. I go down the road towards the town. I have no idea like what country I'm in, and honestly my first thought was like somewhere in Italy, but that's why we play the game, as you'll find out, because I pass a sign in just a second and I turn around and it looks like a sign. It's not this blue one, but this next one, it looks like a sign you would see in Argentina, like 3 place names and distances. I don't recognize any of the place names, so my plan is to turn around and try to find out what city I'm in. And when I go, I see another green sign, and it's a little bit blurry, so I have to scooch up right next to it. But this one is super duper useful because it says San Martin Centro. It also says Junin and Neuquén. So Neuquén is a city that I recognize. It's in West Argentina. And so I'm going to go to the map and look for San Martin, and I find it really quickly, San Martin de los Andes. And there was a San Carlos de Bariloche, which was on the first sign. So I zoom in, there's a lake by the town, so I know I'm in the right spot. I put the marker down and I go back to the start here. And there's no intersections or anything, so I just have to like rely on the compass. I start by going like northeast, and then it bends a little bit to the left, and a little bit to the left again, and we're almost due north here. And then it bends to the right after that. So on the road, there's this little northeast strip right there. So I put the marker down and get the first 5,000. And real quick, I'm gonna pause because as I was finishing that round, I like could not open my left eye. There was like sweat or something that had gotten in there, and it was just stinging, and I couldn't open it. So I'm gonna unmute the video and just like play the clip. It's gonna be quiet, but oh well. Oh. I can barely open my left eye. Okay, so that continued like into the next round. I like did not have my eye open, my left eye open at all for this round. So I'm gonna unpause here. Here we go. We're in Tunisia. It says El Mouradine and M Sakin. So I don't recognize either of them. So I'm just gonna try to go down the road and look for more clues. And it turns out I went the right direction because we were right by like a big highway. I see there's signs here on the exit ramp, so I try to read them, but it won't let me go. And then I get forced onto the actual highway, which is good because usually there's going to be signs there. But again, I'm trying to get onto the exit ramp, but I can't. But I see these highway signs right here, and this is useful. It says we're on the A1, and we can exit the GP12. So it says Sousse, north and south. So we're by Sousse, and it says we're going north towards Tunis on the A1. There's Sfax. There's Sousse. There's the A1, there's Sakin, it's spelled differently on the Google map, and then I zoom in and I see the P12, which I figure is the same thing as the GP12. I put the cursor down, there's an intersection right there, probably where we are. I go to the start, see the road there up to the north, and I align the compass, it all checks out. Put the marker down and get 5,000, number 2. Okay, round number 3, I look to be on like a narrow like island of some sort, and I'm super confused because these road signs right here, like they look American. And lucky for me, when I move, immediately I see it, the Florida Keys ambulance. And so, for those who don't know, the Florida Keys are this like super unique like coral island chain off the south coast of Florida. So my initial reaction is that I'm encouraged, but also a bit concerned because I've never had a round in the Florida Keys before. I'm basically trying to remember like when the car drives on a bridge that spans different islands, and I'm looking for signs to help me find where I am. That sign was just an adopt a highway sign, so it wasn't, I didn't even go and check all the way. I just moved on. And so we're going, there's some like RV camper stuff, and so I'm just looking for signs, and this, I'm gonna pull up on it in just a second. It says Sunshine Key RV Resort. And that's not a place name, so I'm just gonna keep on going. This sign says Ohio by a Honda Channel, and so I go into the map right here and I start to look for these names. And this is a bit of scanning. I don't know like how big the keys are. I start, there's key logger. I kind of just like start at the top and then go down. And I'm looking for like Ohio or Bahia Honda. Like those are kind of unique names, but I go and I get right about there and I'm like, okay, I'm not seeing them. I need more evidence. Like I need more names. There's a sign there. I can't read it, but this one says Bahia Honda State Park. And I think, okay, that's useful. I would figure that state parks would show up on the map. So I zoom out. There's a state park. There's a bridge. And there's Bahia Honda Key and Bahia Honda State Park. There's the Sunshine Resort. And so, okay, there we are. I put the cursor down right there on the Missouri Key and I go back to the start. We're by like a little slip road where there's like parking and whatnot. So the Missouri Key is too small, so I go to the next one, the Little Duck Key. I see the little parking road, and I put the cursor down and get the 5,000. Okay, round number 4. It looks like I'm in Africa, so I'm just trying to find like a sign with a location. Um, Searching, spinning, and then I get here, searching, spinning. There's a sign. It says Ideal College, and it says Ghana. So that at least gives me the country. I don't know the city yet. That sign didn't have like a PO box with the city name or anything, but that's okay. I'm still encouraged. I go west, but then I turn around and go to the east. There's nothing on that building, but this one is a bank, and it says we're in Elmina, and that is pretty useful. Elmina. I don't know where it is, but I feel like I've seen it like on the map in Ghana when I've been looking for other places. And so it doesn't take too long. There's Elmina right by Cape Coast on the south coast of Ghana. So now that I know what city I'm in, I'm just I have to find out like where I am in the city. So I'm looking for street names at first, but that one just says one way. And I figure I might not be able to find the street names. So I have to employ like a different strategy here. I'm just gonna like go down the road and look for buildings of any note. There was a cemetery there. I went north at first and then turned left. And now I want to keep on going down the road to the west, but I can't. It forces me to turn left again. So I turn left again, and then I have to turn left again really quickly after that. So I'm just keeping all of this information in my head. I pass a building right here that I think might be useful, and it says Office of the Chief Fisherman. So I have no clue like how official that building is, but I keep a note of it, and I'm ready to go into the map at this point, and I'm looking for like a part of town that's like more on like a grid shape, and I find it right here in the old town. And I see like a fish market, and I'm thinking, okay, this looks right, but I didn't cross the creek that was there, so I put the marker like just north of the creek, and I'm just trying to confirm, double check, exactly where I was. I went north, and then I go east here, and there's like a notable building, and then I reach a dead end or a split, and the road both directions like bend to the east. So right about now I'm ready to go into the map. I scooch the cursor I zoom in, scooch the cursor pretty close to like that bottom left corner, and I make my guess in just a second. I don't move the cursor anymore, and I should have, because I could have gotten a lot closer. It was risky in the end, but I got close enough for the 5,000. Final round, I'm looking to see which direction I should go, and I go to the north at the start. There's a sign here for a church, but this one doesn't have the place name or anything. So I keep on going. We're at a stoplight here, and I don't see names on the like stoplight structure, but there's a sign here. It says Westmoreland, and I know I'm in Canada because it said street and rue, which is the French name, and I think this might only happen in New Brunswick, where French and English are both the languages, but I didn't know that at the time. So now I'm just looking for the city name. I see tires, more clues is what I'm looking for, but I'm not really finding anything. So I go down. There's a company van right there, and it doesn't have the city name, unfortunately. So I keep on going. I zoom in. I see some banners. I figure, okay, maybe that has the name. But they don't, in the end, have the name. They have something else. But in the background, you see Westmoreland right there. I'm like, okay, that's the name of the street we're on. So maybe this is like a bigger city. Eventually, I cross this light, and I see like highway signs, and that is encouraging. So I go up to them, and I turn around, and they say Westmoreland and the New Brunswick 101 to also Regent Street and the New Brunswick 101. So I know I'm in New Brunswick. I know we're about to cross a river, so we're in one of the bigger cities. I first try St. John. Not the capital, but it is a large city. It says the 100, the New Brunswick 100, but that's the 101, so I figured that's probably not right. I'm going to go across the river and see if there's other signs. So when I do, these are more useful, and I wish I had taken more of an advantage of them, because we see the New Brunswick 10, what is it, 5? New Brunswick 105, and also the 8 and the 10, and all other place names, Maxaquack and Miramichi. But I went into St. John's again, looking for the right road names, and I don't see them, but it takes me a while before I move on. I leave St. John now, and I go to Moncton, which is, I think, the biggest city in New Brunswick. I zoom in. There's multiple different like highways, but none of them are the right number. And when I zoom out here, I finally see the 8, and then I go down to Fredericton. I figure that's probably right. There's a river. We go north on it, and when I zoom in, I see Westmoreland Street. Okay, this is it. I zoom in again. I put the marker down, but then I see George Street, and that was the intersection that I first kept track of. But now I'm just trying to find out where exactly I was at the start. I don't remember which direction I went to get to George, so I go south instead of north like I needed to. There's no signs at this intersection, so I go to the next one, and this one's blurry, and for some reason I feel like I'm under like a lot of time pressure. I don't know how fast I am. I end up just guessing right at George because I didn't remember which direction I went to get there. And it was like barely close enough. You have to be within 200 meters to get a perfect score, and I was exactly 200 yards away, so I was like right about at the limit. But there it is, 10:04, not 10:05 like the splits say. There were a couple of unique rounds in this one. One was by the Andes Mountains, and another was in the Florida Keys. So the fastest round, as you can see, was in Tunisia. It was between Sousse and Msaken, and that sounds funny. And the slowest was the last round in Fredericton. Definitely should have saved more time in that round. And there were also time saves basically like everywhere else, except for maybe the first 2 rounds. But since yesterday, I've beaten this time, and spoiler alert, the value in the tens digit of minutes is 0. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching.